It's Positive Thinking Day, so I'll affirm myself with this quote. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. That's from legendary musician Willie Nelson. How about you? The day is not yet over, so begin to change or boost your atmosphere with positive thoughts. Hello, I'm Adrian at Kingston and you're watching Jamaica Magazine. We continue our positive energy with initiatives by the government to provide employment opportunities for young people. And the UDC goes all out to assist schools with much-needed facelifts. Plus, we tell you about happenings at the Natural History Museum of Jamaica.
Our children are different. All of them require patience, love, understanding. That's what we want to remind all adults, that every child is our child, and we must see how we can give them that love, that patience, that understanding, so that they can become their best selves.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, September 13. Government and the Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, have now reached a wage agreement for the contract period 2017 to 2021. The NAJ signed the agreement at the Finance Ministry yesterday, paving the way for nurses to receive a 16% salary increase over 4 years. In addition, the amount available for tertiary grants to nurses will increase from $5 to $8 million annually. NAJ members will also be able to access an additional $500,000 each for scholarships at the master's level, which is being upped from $1 to $1.5 million per scholarship. Another provision in the agreement calls for the Ministry of Health to get 4 30-seater buses to transport nurses who work on late shifts and 1 15-seater for the NAJ office.
With this agreement, it brings to approximately 80% the number of public sector workers who are covered by a 4-year wage agreement. These discussions have been conducted in an atmosphere of mutual respect, of openness, of transparency, and we are indeed grateful to the Nurses Association of Jamaica.
We have had a more humane interaction. We have had that kind of respect for each other, and I really appreciated that.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has instructed the police and transport officials to ensure more efficient traffic management and diversions are implemented to ease congestion in the corporate area. The directive was issued yesterday during a meeting the Prime Minister called with the senior management of the National Works Agency, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and Chinese construction firm China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC.
The government will be putting in place the necessary measures to ensure that the public can get to their destination on time and with sufficient ease.
This week has witnessed significant traffic challenges due to major roadworks taking place across the corporate area. In response, Prime Minister Holness has instructed the NWA to improve signage and give specific designated routes, especially the alternate corridors for the 3 miles, Hagley Park and Constant Spring areas. Daily peak hour briefings in the media are also to take place as Mr. Holness directed the police and NWA to improve communication with the public.
There should be visibly a level of urgency displayed by the officials to ensure that this matter is addressed.
The Prime Minister also revealed that government was actively looking at some other alternatives, particularly for operators of large trucks and articulated vehicles that previously trafficked the 3 miles area. Meanwhile, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Darrell Vaz, is urging the public to exercise patience as government works to alleviate the traffic issues. During Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Minister Vaz said the dissemination of real-time information and installation of additional signs and alternative routes ordered by the Prime Minister would be implemented. In addition to that, he said shortening the road construction work time for the 3 miles area was also being explored.
So we're also looking at working hours and the possibility of night working so that we can reduce the 8 months to a lesser time based on what we know, and of course with Christmas coming.
Minister Vaz said government was sensitive to the concerns of the motoring public, but stressed that the benefits of the road projects would far outweigh the negatives.
It's not only about the improvement of roads, and of course transportation and time is critical to any growing economy, but most importantly, what you will be able to get in terms of improved sewage, improved water supplies, improve telecommunication. So there's a whole lot of benefits to road infrastructure improvement. So I ask for your patience, I ask for your sensitivity.
In other transport news, government has welcomed the introduction of a new service-driven taxi company in the country. 876 On The Go taxi service was launched on Tuesday from its base at 34 to 36 Old Hope Road in St. Andrew. CEO Olivia Lindsay says the company will offer Wi-Fi on board, refreshments, and in-cab tablet for browsing. Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montego says this will transform the local transportation industry.
With the 876 On The Go service that is being rolled out, and the unique features of the service. You're getting Wi-Fi, so that if you're stuck in traffic, you can browse. You're getting water.
The company also has an app on Google Play and the Apple Store, which has a tracker and a feature to have a friend track you while in their vehicles. It sends information on the car and has a picture of the driver as well. Jamaicans are being urged to participate in the International Coastal Cleanup Exercise this Saturday, September 15. Activities are being organized by the Jamaica Environment Trust, JET, the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, and the Urban Development Corporation, UDC. Though the main projects are the Palisado Strip in Kingston and the Hellshire Bay Beach in St. Catherine, persons are being encouraged to clean up at a location they regularly use. So far, 37 groups with over 1,000 volunteers have signed up to rid the country of improperly disposed waste and garbage.
In addition to cleaning up the garbage, we'll also be looking at ways of dealing with sargassum, which is to clean it and remove it from the coastline, because this is actually making the coastline inaccessible to Jamaicans.
Dr. Sean Townsend of the UDC was speaking at a JIS think tank on Tuesday. Persons may sign up and participate in this year's International Coastal Cleanup Day activities by visiting nepa.gov.jm or jamintrust.org. And finally, former Cabinet Minister and Member of Parliament Easton Douglas is to be accorded an official funeral by the government of Jamaica. Information Minister Senator Ruel Reid made the announcement during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. The funeral for Mr. Douglas, who died on Sunday, August 26, will be held at the St. Andrew Parish Church on Hagley Park Road on September 20. The service is to start at 10 a.m. and interment will follow at the St. Dorothy's Anglican Church Cemetery in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. Easton Douglas was Member of Parliament for South East St. Andrew from 1989 until 2002 when he retired. He was also Minister of Health, Public Service and Environment and Housing. Prior to that, Mr. Douglas had a long career in the public sector, serving as Permanent Secretary in the Ministries of National Security and Housing in the late 1970s and 1980s. Before that, he worked as Government Town Planner. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
The government has been creating employment options for young people through programs such as HOPE, which stands for Housing, Opportunity, Production and Employment, and LEGS, Learn, Earn, Give and Save. This summer, 3,600 young persons were employed by the Ministry of Local Government. Their work continues until December. We followed a few of them around the municipality to see just how they're doing.
We are participants of the Youth Summer Employment Program.
YSEP is the Youth Summer Employment Program provided by the Local Government Ministry, which enhances and prepares youth for the future working world.
It is critical that we expose the leaders of tomorrow to the workings of local government. When this program was initiated, we did so knowing that we were stepping into a new era of local government. Never before has the Ministry of Local Government embarked on a program specifically to employ young people in this country. We provided employment to over some 2,000 young people. We provided the employment to collect critical information on services provided by local government. We did an audit on streetlights. We did an audit on missing street signs across the country. We did an audit of the most vulnerable individuals across communities. And out of that audit, especially the streetlight audit, we were able to put ourselves in a position where we found out that at least 35% of streetlights that were not working across the country that we were still paying for. This year, we will have some unique features to the program. We have included disaster risk management as a core function of the Youth Summer Employment Program. We are going to retain those who are not going back to school until the end of this year. Out of that core that will deal specifically with disaster response, we are going to retain 150 of you island-wide to work specifically on disaster risk across the country. In order to facilitate, to input the data that will be collected, we're going to be identifying another 50 of you who are computer savvy. You will be retained within the municipal corporations to help to input the data that will be collected based on the survey. So we will be retaining until the end of the calendar year 200 of our finest and brightest young people to assist in the process. We have included property taxes as a critical area for employment this year. We have not done much on trade license. We have extended the program to include trade license.
We actually check in the hairdressers and barber shop for license, if it is licensed or not. On the billboard, we check if the billboard is working or not, or the signs that should not be there, we make a list to take them down if it's not paid for license. In terms of trade license, we check if the business is registered once you buy and sell, or you have a license for the business.
All 230 councillors across the country have an opportunity to make recommendations. We have also accepted recommendations from non-political organizations.
The experience has been great for me because it helps me to understand how business operates and how local governments function.
Youth Summer Employment Program. Look out for us in your community.
More life.
More memories.
More moments. Jamaica Moves is a call to action to prevent non-communicable diseases. Get active, eat healthy. You can protect yourself from high blood pressure, obesity, asthma, certain cancer diseases, and more.
Up next, the Urban Development Corporation, making development happen through its corporate social responsibility program.
The Urban Development Corporation UDC mandate of making development happen not only includes infrastructure upgrades, but also touching lives through community service. This was evident in May as the team spearheaded and took part in 7 projects in areas of operation through its corporate social responsibility program. As part of its 50th anniversary, 5 parishes were chosen: Kingston, St. Catherine, Portland, St. James, and St. Anne.
We feel that in carrying out our 50th anniversary celebrations, it's important for us to touch a kaleidoscope of projects that reflect our impact on primary and secondary infrastructure and how we have helped to make development happen.
We begin at Sutton Street in downtown Kingston at the Calabar Infant Primary and Junior High School. Works being carried out include repairs to the roof, lighting facility and window replacements, as well as general painting and beautification.
I think Labor Day is an embodiment of people coming out and giving service. It's a selfless ask, but it's something that once done, you just have to keep on doing.
Urban Development Corporation has decided to notice that heroic work, and you've come today to help us to add something to the maintenance of the place.
Principal Josette Leslie expressed gratitude to the UDC for spearheading the project.
It's a very heartwarming, uplifting day for us, and to see that they have come in and to be a part of this wonderful activity. You know, our geographical location, and so we are very happy that the UDC has come on and tried to create an uplifting, stimulating environment for our clientele.
Adding that the 1,180 students and 51 teachers will make full use of the upgraded facilities. Our next stop was in St. Catherine for 3 projects. The Seaford Citizens Association got some much-needed help from the UDC with clearing an open space.
On behalf of the residents, I say thanks. Our intention is to do a major fencing, for if you noticed, at the edge of the Eltra Main Road. So we have to fence across so that when the boys kick ball, it don't go into the road.
Over at the Caymanas Development Company, a subsidiary of the UDC, work was in full swing for the construction of a walkway. And not so far away at the Cumberland Road Health Center, the corporation donated a water tank to assist the institution with storage of the precious commodity. The UDC's contribution to education is long-standing, answering the call to facilitate a comfortable learning environment. The Eltham Basic School in St. Anne received a much-needed facelift, courtesy of the team from the corporation's subsidiary, the St. Anne Development Company. Bathroom fixtures were replaced, windows repaired, partition walls installed, and general painting to all areas, as well as landscaping.
I would just like to say thanks again to UDC family for coming over and really helping us out like this.
Early childhood is a very important aspect to the development of any town, of any community. And as such, we want to ensure that we kind of get them from the start and make our contribution to the foundation of the learning of our children.
We also need to make sure the minds of the children that are here and their environment that they learn in is also enhanced in a way that they can be as productive citizens as they can be when they move on later on in life.
The work continued at the Reach Falls Infant and Primary School in Portland and Leith Primary and Infant in St. James.
I know the benefits that will begin. As a project, they'll be repainting the school, improving infrastructure as it relates to the bathrooms, the classrooms, the fencing of the school, putting in a ramp. So all of those things are welcome and they are requirements under the Early Childhood Commission regulations for registration.
The Urban Development Corporation, contributing to the welfare and educational development of our children. To learn more about the work of the Urban Development Corporation, call 876-656-8031 or visit their website at udcja.com. You may also follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit their information center on the ground floor at Kingston Mall in downtown Kingston.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Jamaica has thousands of plants, many of which are known for their medicinal properties, and sometimes it's hard to remember them, but the Natural History Museum of Jamaica makes that so much easier.
Necessity is the mother of invention, and we had to find a way to survive. And so for the plants, the natural gift of the Creator, we could rely on it to guide us into what we needed to do. I didn't know about Fenzik and your pharmaceutical things. I know about bush. So if I had a headache, I knew as a child that I should use the leaves of 3 mackerel bush and a piece of cloth and tie it on my head, and the pain would go.
The use of herbs as medicine. While this age-old practice has been overlooked by many, the Institute of Jamaica saw it fitting to mount an exhibition on medicinal plants of Jamaica and their uses, bringing to the present the medicinal habits used in the past.
So at least 330 plants have been found growing in Jamaica, have been identified as having medicinal value. Of that 334, at least 193 have been assessed for their biochemical activities, and 23 of those are actually endemic plants.
Not every plant, though in its natural form is good, is accessible to everybody. And knowing the information about the plant and wanting to get that into the hands of the people, some of our scientists have begun to study extensively some of these plants to see how they can be formulated in such a way so that they can be packaged and be accessible to the public.
You just don't wake up and say, Eureka, I have found it. They would have learned from the people in the community what plants were used for what purpose. So you know all those things in your childhood because they were continually using the plants of nature to assist in what they were doing.
Ever since I was a child, my mom always said me go break a piece of bush to make tea if the tea bag run out. But what was I getting out of it? I had no clue. And sometimes people say it worked, some other people say it didn't work. So that's why I really did the research to find out if these plants actually work. So we started only making butterbrush, which is also known as Callistemon viminalis. And then we broadened and we focused on lemongrass. We focused on most of the herbs that are used by native Jamaicans to cure different ailments.
In addition to the showcase, students from the Dunrobin, Chetola Park, and the Rollington Town primary schools were scientists for a day as they participated in one of the institution's monthly and afternoon with a scientist sessions. Modeled around the Ministry of Education's academic calendar, the mandate of the program is to expose students to and encourage an appreciation for different disciplines of science through fun-filled scientific activities.
I've been promoting entrepreneurship, especially in the medicinal plant industry. So one of the things I do is to give back. So I volunteer even at my children's school. We have an entrepreneurial club where I teach them to make different products from plants.
I learned that they can use herbs to make soap. It was very exciting because I got to see what dangerous chemicals they use in it and how is it correct to go on the skin. First, we had to put some coconut oil in like a metal cup. Then we had to put shea butter in it and melt it. And then we put it in sodium hydroxide. And it was very, very, very hot. I spilled it a couple times, but it was okay, just a little clean up. And it began to get thick, so I was like, what should I do now? And she was like, just mix it, it's normal. And then we got to put what we want in there. I put charcoal in there, and then I made a swirl in the mold. It was a very good experience.
I'm so happy our students were able to participate in the activity held here at the Institute, where they learn more about medicinal plants. I believe it's very important for them to know that the plants that are found right there in their backyards can be used for healing of ailments that they'll have, the common cold, whatever the ailment may be.
This is what I would like to engage the people in. Go back to their communities and learn how people lived. A generation which came out of slavery could neither read nor write, and yet they were able to contain themselves and to live. We want the students to have some respect for the heritage of this country because it is going to guide you to the future.
I leave you with another positive quote to apply. It says, your attitude is like a box of crayons that color your world. Constantly color your picture gray and your picture will always be bleak. Try adding some bright colors to the picture by including humor and your picture begins to lighten up. This one is from Alan Klein. Just click on our website jis.gov.jm for more information. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JISnews. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.